Hey everyone, what's going on? Derrick here. In this video, I want to show you how we can automatically upload files to Amazon S3 using Python and the AWS S3 API. Let's get started. So what's the idea here? The idea is we might have a directory that's very cluttered and we need to organize it and back it up at the same time. We can do this by writing a script that checks for file extensions and uploads those files to certain subdirectories within a bucket. So getting started, we'll obviously need an AWS account. If you don't have one, go ahead and sign up for one, and I'll just sign into mine. Once you sign up or log in, this will be the home page. The first thing we need is a user that has API keys to access S3. Let's make one of those now. To do this, we'll use the IAM, Manage Access to AWS Resources, and click on it. I already have a few users created, but we'll create another one. For this example, we'll just call this one something like YouTube Dummy User. And we want to be sure to give this user programmatic access. This will give us API keys that we can use to access AWS resources. Now we'll click on permissions. Next, we need to assign this user to a group with certain permissions attached. Permissions are just what allows your user to do certain things within the AWS platform. And in this example, since our user needs to access S3 buckets, they need full access to S3. So I'll add my user to this group that has Amazon S3 full access. We'll click it and go on. We'll skip the tags and we'll just skip through and create the user. This will give us a page that has our API keys on it. We need to copy these over to a Python script, that way we can save them for later. Copying over the access key ID, we'll copy it, and I'll move it into a script called secrets.py and place it here. I'll do the same thing with my secret access key, but I won't show it in this video. But when you do this for yourself, you'll place it here. Once you have that, we'll go over to a new Python script. I'll call mine automatic S3 uploader.py. In this script, we need to import those variables that we just created in the secrets.py file. So we'll import from secrets, import, and then we had access key and secret access key. Next, we need to install the packages that we'll be using. AWS uses bothersome, so we'll use it. And to walk through directories on our desktop, we'll need import os. Once we have our imports and our API keys, it's only a few lines to do this. Our first step is to interact with that API so we can access the resources. We'll say client will be bothersome client. We'll pass in the service that we want to use. In our case is S3. Our AWS access key ID will be equal to our access key, and our AWS secret access key will be equal to the secret access key. These are just keyword arguments that the client method takes in, and these are the variables that were created in the secrets.py. With this, we're now able to access all S3 resources that this access key has permission to, which was full access. So now we're able to upload files and download files using this client. Now we just need to walk a directory, and depending on the extension of the file, upload it to S3. To do this, we'll say for every file in os.listdir. So this is taking every file within your same working directory. So I'm doing this on my desktop, so it will take all of these files, and we'll say something like if the string.py, so it's a Python file because it has the extension of py, is in our file. We'll specify what bucket to upload it to. So upload file bucket, and we'll upload it to a bucket that I created earlier, YouTube dummy bucket. And then we need to pass in a key, which is just the path of the file inside the bucket. Since this if statement is for Python files, we'll say upload file key will be equal to Python / and then we'll concatenate this string. We'll make sure that the file name is a string, and we'll pass in the file. So we're uploading the file to the path of a Python subdirectory and then calling it the same name that it was in our list directory. Finally, we'll do this upload by saying client.upload file, and then we'll pass in the arguments that we need. The first one is the file name, so we'll just say file. The second one is the bucket, so we'll say upload file bucket. And the last one is the key. We only have one if statement here for .py files. But if you have a lot of different extensions, feel free to add more statements like this under this for every file in your directory. If you're working with a ton of documents, I think this is a great way to back up your files, and you can organize them as you do it. I don't have many files on my desktop, PY extensions, so let's create a few more to make sure that this works. We'll say test.py, testing.py, and then we'll do Derrick.py. Now we'll go back to our automatic S3 uploader, open up a terminal, and we'll type in Python 3 automatic S3 uploader.py. Automatic S3 uploader.py. Let's see if we get it that time. Once we hit execute, we get no return in the terminal, but that's okay because we didn't specify a return. We'll go back to S3 and open it up. Now in our S3 bucket, we see that we're in the bucket of YouTube dummy bucket, and we have a subdirectory called Python, and this is what we created here in our file key. So we'll go back and open that up. And now we see that every file in that directory was automatically uploaded into this S3 bucket. And that's pretty much it for this one. I hope it's helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments about the script, please let me know. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let me know those too. Until next time.